Hello, this is the video associated with the Traditional File Processing Systems section of Chapter 1. So again, you should start off in Course Documents, go to the Chapter 1 folder, and that is where you will find this video. I'm going to go into the PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to start off on slide 9. So one of the problems, or there are a lot of problems with the old file processing system, and if you remember from previous videos, for instance, slide 5 would be an example of a file that a file processing system would deal with. These comma-separated files trying to keep track of all of the data. So one of the problems is program data dependence. And as I said in a previous video associated with data, one of the problems is that programs have to be maintained and metadata has to be maintained for each file that's used. So if I'm using this data file associated with slide 5, if I make a change, so for instance, if I want to put the professor's information into this file, that means I have to structurally change this file. That means that the metadata associated with slide 8 has to be changed. I have to add in something along here, prof name, which is alphanumeric, maybe 30 characters long. The description would be the professor's name, and I'd have to have a source for where that professor came from. So I make a change to this file. I have to make a change to the metadata. And then the problem is if I'm running a COBOL program that's reading from this file, I now have to change my program. I have to edit my program so that my program can now read the new file in a new file structure. The second thing is the duplication of data. As you can see, again, going back to slide 5, MGT space 500 space business space policy is the name of this course. Well, if this course changes, if it's no longer management, for instance, if this was entered incorrectly, if this was actually marketing 500 business policy, we would have to write a program that would have to go through each one of these records in this file, find MGT space 500 space business space policy, and have it change that. So duplicated data is bad. The other part of duplication of data is the fact that different areas within the company could be supporting the data at the same time. So if we make changes to one file, say this file was being used by academic records, if there's another area such as the registrar that it has a copy of this data, when one area makes a change, we have to remember that to tell the other area to make a change. So duplication of data and the maintenance of the data is a serious issue with file processing. There is limited data sharing. In other words, back in the day when we were using file processing, we would have situations where the registrar would have one copy of the data and the academic records area would have a different copy of the data, and they wouldn't share it. So one area, academic records, could make a change, not tell the registrar's office, and now they are using two different sets of data. There's lengthy development times, again, the excessive program maintenance, because every time we make a change, we have to change our programs. So there were problems with that. This is a slide associated with basically the same topics that I just touched upon. There is a duplication of data, right? So in this case, in this slide, it's we've got the orders department has a customer file, and the accounting department also has a customer file. Same type of scenario that we would have in the academic records versus registrars. And again, this we're going to cover, this would be the example in the Pine Valley Furniture Company, which is what you should be seeing on page 8 of the text. We start bringing in the Pine Valley Furniture Company, which is a company that we are going to use as examples through all of the chapters. This slide talks about data redundancy, right? So data changes in one file could cause inconsistencies. We spoke about that already. So that is really the end. You know, read chapter 1, pages 8 through the top of 10, and that will hopefully this lecture will help you understand that topic better. After this, we are going to go to the database approach. So this is the end of this lecture.